What's up, everybody? This is the Gridiron Gilly Show. I'm the host, Gridiron Gilly, and I have a guest on today. This is my first guest. This is Jermaine Lewis, head coach of the Gladewater Bears. Coach Lewis, how are you?
Doing well. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be your first guest.
I'm glad you're my first guest, dude. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm just like every listener here.
Okay.
I know nothing about you, so tell me a little bit about yourself.
Um, Real simple, man. I grew up in the Houston area. I moved to East Texas in 1998. I came this way on a basketball scholarship at Kilgore College. Played basketball at Kilgore College. Um, Had a great career at Kilgore College playing basketball. I was All-American at Kilgore College. I was inducted to the Hall of Fame in 2019. After Kilgore College, I ended up playing at UNLV, graduated from there, and then had a couple stops with the pro profession of basketball. So had a couple NBA tryouts, and then went overseas and played for about 5 years.
Well, I guess I shouldn't ask you what your second favorite sport is behind football then.
Right. It was one of the things when I came here to East Texas, man. I had a coaching staff that came from Longview. Jared Ball and John Berry, those guys came from Longview, and I was the basketball coach. And they told me, like, hey, if you're gonna be in East Texas, you need to learn some football. So it was one of the things, man. I thank them all the time. Actually, I'm in a group text right now. We just texting and talking about a few things, but those guys showed me the game, and we talked about the game, and really just learned the games, just in and outs of the game.
So you didn't really know much about football beforehand,
I
or
played
about
football.
high school football, like in,
Yeah,
in Texas?
I played it, but it was I never coached it. And learned both sides of the ball. Um, but that's been 18, 19 years ago. So ever since then, man, they kind of took me under their wing and showed me some of the things I need to learn, and it's been up from there.
So when did you start coaching in Texas, and where all have you been up until this point here at Gladewater as the head coach?
I've been in Texas the whole time, so I was here. I started, I guess, maybe around '04, maybe coming around and kind of playing overseas and coming back in town and kind of working with the school, kind of helping with the kids. I was just kind of just giving my time and helping with basketball, helping coaching on the side. And then a coach asked me, like, "Hey, you ever thought about coaching?" I was like, not really, because I was still trying to pursue that
Hmm.
dream of playing professional at the NBA level, but ended up having my son. He played at Gladewater, Colin Lewis. Now he's a DB at North Texas right now. My wife is from Gladewater, so she's a Gladewater girl. She graduated as well from Gladewater. I have a daughter that's a junior in high school right now. So my ties in Gladewater are really connected.
I know nothing about Gladewater. I've only seen them play football one time ever. I'm from Joaquin.
Yeah,
You know where Joaquin is?
I do. I
Okay,
actually coached in Timpson when on the state championship team.
in 23.
Yep,
So you were at, how long was you at Timpson for? Just that 1 year?
just a year.
Okay, so yeah, y'all beat us pretty good that year. Beat everybody pretty good that year. Terry Bussey, what a superstar that guy is.
Yeah, great
So,
kid. Hey, that's the other side. People see that side of him, but he's a great kid. He's a great kid.
well, what's funny, so here's the deal, and this is no disrespect because I respect all high school football teams and coaches, but before that guy came along, when Timpson, because I'm from Joaquin, so I know this, when Timpson had a good year or whenever they had a winning season and they would play Joaquin, usually the games would be over by halftime, just because I guess Joaquin was just better, had like stiffer competition or whatever in the non-district schedule.
Right.
Um, so that it's funny that year it was COVID year 2020 whenever Terry Bussey was a freshman. I was working in Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the time, and I had flew in that week, and it was the district championship, undefeated Timpson, undefeated Joaquin in Timpson, and I had heard about him all year long, and I was like, this guy's not that good, man. I've heard a million athletes
Right,
come through
right.
East Texas. I've heard about him, and I was like, he's not that good. And then after that game, I put on Facebook, I was like, that guy's going to be at Alabama in a few years. And
Yeah.
I was close. It was a
Yeah.
close
He,
prediction.
he had opportunity to go. He just decided to go somewhere different.
No, Gladewater, like I said, I know nothing about Gladewater football. I've been to one game ever, and I went to, I think it was 2018 or 20, no, it was 2019, I think. Gladewater, West Rusk.
Okay.
It came down to like a fourth and goal. at the very end of the game, and I think Gladewater pulled it out in West Rusk.
Got you.
But that's the only time I've ever seen them play.
Okay. You got to come back, man. So you invited back.
I looked at y'all's district. Like I said, I wanted to come into this unprepared. I guess I should have prepared a little bit, but I was like, no, I want to be unprepared because
Right.
I want to be from the outsider's perspective.
Right.
But I did look at your district. I did see who's in your district. Jefferson, Liberty Ilo, Atlanta, Tatum, Gladewater, White Oak, and then Sabine.
Right.
And that's in the order that they finished in last year. What do you think about that?
It's a really good district, you know.
I didn't realize that Gladewater was 3A Division 1. I thought they were Division 2 until I looked it up, and I was like, whoa, they're 3A Division 1.
Yeah. You know, when I first started coaching here, we was 4A. So we was in there with Kilgore, Carthage.
Gladewater? Yeah, I remember.
Henderson and
Because
stuff like that. Like, that was a district dude. Like, it was crazy.
when Coach Lawson was at Joaquin, whenever he was the head coach there, and he would always try to find games whenever they would do the new alignment. And I'd always message him and be like, play Newton, play West Rusk, play Gladewater, like play those guys. They might beat you, but you'll be better for it. And we never did play those guys.
Right.
When I was in junior high, though, we moved up to 2A, which that's back when 1A was still a thing.
Right.
And we had to we was in a district, West Rusk, ARP, Frankston, Union Grove, and dude, that was pitiful. Yeah. It was pitiful playing those guys. ARP and West Rusk have stayed pretty consistent in how good they are, their level of competition, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I think it's with any small town, man. You get the kids that graduate, and you may get a really good group. Just like, you talk about the Timpson group, like there was a really good group that came through with Terry during that time, you know, and they won a lot just with that group. You know, before and after that, you know, it's a little bit different now, you know, with that group being graduated or whatever. But it's just being in a small town, you have what you have. So I think as a coach, my big thing now is to go down to the junior high, the elementaries, and make sure you develop those kids, you know. So when they get to the high school, they have an understanding of what we're trying to do.
Who was your favorite coach growing up? I guess that could be high school, college, or at the professional level.
My high school basketball coach, by far, Jackie Carr, legendary coach at Phyllis Wheatley High School, won hundreds of games in basketball. Like a father figure, like the same things he's doing that he did for me back then. I catch myself doing those same things, you know, just taking care of kids, making sure you feed them. If some need a ride home, just things like that. You know, we talk about the game, but just more of that father figure you have in the coach.
A lot of people have dreams and aspirations of being a coach. So what, that was your favorite coach growing up. What made you decide to be a coach?
It was him, Coach Carr. It was Jackie Carr. It was one of the things, like I said, it was more than, you know, playing the game, and the discipline side of it was tough at the time. Now I understand it. You know, he had things the way he wanted them. And if you didn't do them, you know, back then it was a little bit different though. So he had like a board in his back pocket. So we would get swats and all that, you know, back then for doing things in the classroom or him just getting a call. You know, if you get a call from a classroom and he got to come and check on you, you know it's going to be a problem. So you learn real quick to stop doing certain things.
A lot of people, especially here in East Texas, Texas in general, people want to coach football. Even people in the stands every Friday night, they think they know something. And that's what I think Greg Schiano, coach of Rutgers University, he said, there's two things every man in America thinks he can do: work a grill and coach football.
Right.
I mean, that stands true, especially here in East Texas, where I'm from, where the town shut down every Friday night. No matter how good you are, I've seen teams that ain't won a game. The town will shut down and they'll travel 2 hours to watch them play. So with this being your first year as the head coach at a school in East Texas, how do you feel about that? You feel just you're going to do your thing, you're going to let it rock?
Oh yeah, like for me, it's just one of the things. Like,
no pressure?
No pressure. I don't.
Okay.
No, none, zero. Like, cause I'm a little bit different when it comes to stuff like that. I was just talking to the coach a few minutes ago, just about being prepared, you know. And I told him, I said, all of us can coach games, so you need to think about how you lost a football game. And we need to put our kids in those positions right now. So when that time do come, we understand what we're looking at. And it's like anything, once you prepare for it, you get a chance to be successful. I was able to go to Pine Tree with Coach Lane when he left Gilmer. He's the new head coach at New Downer right now. And we was able to build Pine Tree, and get it back where it needs to be at. I was in Gladewater when it was up and down. We had really good seasons. We had Dalen Mack, a really good player. We made a run in the playoffs. I seen the community come out for that. I've seen, we won 2 games here at Gladewater as well before. So I understand both sides of it. For me, as assistant coach, I always took notes and understood what I wanted and how I wanted it. Now I transfer that vision to my coaching staff of how I wanted it, and it's going well right now. We had a great summer. The kids showed up. We was able to get a lot of stuff really just knocked out this summer. So I told the kids, we're going to practice with a purpose. And then when we do it, we just put our shoulder pads on and start playing games.
Don't answer this question because I'm going to get the answer for it later. But I'm going to figure out if you're an offensive or defensive guy based off of a couple questions I have for you later on. What do I want to talk about now? Talk about your team. Talk about your team going into this year and what we can expect from the Gladewater Bears.
The main thing is just tough. We run the eye, so you feel to get some veer action at you, and you got to be tough to do that. You got to be tough to even practice against it. If you don't do certain things right, it's fit to be some touchdowns. So just a tough team, discipline, and then just being consistent. And that's the things I'm preaching right now to the kids. And I guess you could throw in like doing the small things right. I'm real big on taking care of what we have, like putting your shoes a certain way, put your helmet a certain way, hang your clothes up a certain way. And I think it's one of the things is when you talk to a player or a kid, like you just got to tell them kind of what to do. So when the game comes, there's no confusion of when you try to tell them what to do play wise, so they just understand what's going on with that. But we're going to be a tough team, a really tough team. And we tackle every day.
So, like I said a while ago, I've got it written down: 3A Division I, Region 2, District 8, Gladewater Bears. They finished 5th in the district last year. And don't 4 teams go to the playoffs now? That's correct?
Yes.
So it's Tatum who finished 4th, got in. Gladewater almost did it. This is the year we're optimistic.
Yes.
You got me fired up, man. I think we're only at 4.
This is the year. Like
I got the computer way over there, but it says, I think, 14 minutes that we've been doing this. And you got me fired up, man. I feel like Billy Madison. I want to go back to school and play for you.
Hey, come on, man. We fired up. We tackling every day. It's tough. Like the toughest team win. That's what I was told. And that's what we do. We do it daily. We're smart about it. We stay up, we fit up, and take care of each other. Because I already know, when it's game time, we're gonna fly around. The kids are doing well. I give the kids and the coaching staff all of the credit. I have a vision of what I want to see and how I want it done, and they executing it right now.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. So, who do y'all start the season this week?
Yes, we got Dangerfield. We go to Dangerfield Thursday.
Go to Dangerfield Thursday. Thursday Night Lights. I do not like the sound of that. We've got a lot of games too. Joaquin does on Thursday nights. One thing I didn't mention: I'm a police officer.
Okay.
So the school cop here at Joaquin, he reached out to me about working the games, and I was like, I'll see if I can, but I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to, honestly, if they're on Thursday nights, because I work every Friday too. So if they were on Friday nights like they were, like the Lord intended them to be, I would be able to work them. But Thursdays, I don't know about that.
The reason they started doing a lot of Thursday night games because the shortage of officials. So now those guys get to do a Thursday night and a Friday night game, and it pushes everything back. So I say that now, JV, freshman, 8th grade, 7th grade teams are playing on Tuesdays now. So those officials can do that Tuesday night game, do a varsity Thursday night game, and do a Friday night game, which I know it's kind of hard for them because they got, 3 games in a week or whatever. But at least you got a chance to get some good officiating with those guys. And it kind of helped them out, So I guess you kind of got to give some to get some, whatever. But Um, there's us playing on Thursday night also the first week here in Gladewater. We do like a Gladewater Classic. So it's a Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night game that'll be here in Gladewater. But we'll go to Dangerfield Thursday. But then Friday night, we'll host Elysian Fields in Tenaha. And Saturday, we'll host Big Sandy in Winona. So it's like a little classic we host here in Gladewater. So we try to keep that tradition going.
So that's this week. You play Dangerfield Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Tenaha plays Elysian Fields
Mm-hmm.
Friday night in Gladewater.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday, what happens?
Winona versus Big Sandy in Gladewater.
Winona versus Big Sandy. Okay. My brother, he lives in Winona, so he'll probably be there for that one. Who was your favorite sports broadcaster growing up? Or currently, I guess. It doesn't matter. Either one.
I really don't know, man. I just kind of watch sports and I don't know. I like Troy Aikman, just listen to the Cowboy games and stuff like that. But I really don't know. I just enjoy watching the game. So
Whenever I was writing these questions down and thinking about these questions, I was answering for myself, like who I would, and that was the same answer I had. I was like, I don't know. Like I pay attention to it because if the commentators weren't there,
right,
it would kind of be funny, watching a game that's no one's commentating on.
right.
So I looked at it. I like Kirk Herbstreit. That's a basic
Yeah,
answer, but I
yeah.
like him a lot.
College basketball, Dick Vitale, you know, uh,
Yep.
those names like that. I think like Troy Aikman, he give you a different look of the football game when you're watching the football game. Because sometimes he'll call plays and like give you some heads up before they even do it type thing. I just remember watching maybe the Patriots and he was really just calling like everything that they was about to do. Like he was like in a practice or whatever. So um, I enjoy listening to that.
Yeah, college basketball, what you were just talking about,
Mhm.
that's above me, man. I know nothing about it. I know teams. I know Duke. I know Kentucky, Kansas. I know
Right,
those are basketball schools.
right.
Villanova, Gonzaga, those guys. They're always in the March Madness tournament. That's all I know about basketball. Every year I do my bracket and I bust in the round of 64. So
Oh yeah, like
yeah. I know
it's
nothing about it.
it, it's it's different because you start getting the transfers and now you start getting the smaller schools with a bunch of seniors. You could get like a Duke or North Carolina, but you have some of the top freshmen in like the country, which is fine. But that's a little bit different playing against a 24, 25-year-old guy that's at Butler, you know, that stayed
Mhm.
there 4 or 5 years or transferred in from somewhere else. So, like, that's a little bit different. You could be 17, 18, but if they got 24, 25, like, it's a big difference, you know?
So whenever I grew up in um I grew up in Joaquin, but I grew up in a trailer park pretty much on the lake and didn't really have anything. So I was always outside hitting
Mhm.
baseballs, playing catch with my brothers, or shooting a basketball. I was always doing that stuff, but I never did play sports until I got like a teenager. And I remember I tried to play basketball. I tried to play basketball my freshman year, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. I'm pretty good. I always played pickup games, and I was good at it. Well, I think I went to practice for one day, and that was it because I didn't know that there was plays in basketball.
Right.
I just thought you threw the ball around and shoot a layup or a three or a jump shot, whatever, and then you play defense. I didn't know there was actual plays. So once I saw that, I was like, yeah, I can't do this. This ain't for me.
Right. It's a little bit different, you know. It's kind of the same way I grew up, the inner city Houston. Just staying outside and just playing. Like you develop those skills by just playing against different competition. We go from park to park, or we stayed outside and played football in a grass field, or we played baseball in a grass field. Um, it is it's a little bit different now, raising my son, having like organized basketball games, AAU stuff, because there wasn't really that many AAU teams when I was growing up. I think in the Houston area at that time, it only had like five of like the major AAU teams. Now it's thousands of dads or whoever just put teams together and call it an AAU team right now.
I guess at the very top of this episode, I should have. I've been thinking about this, like all the things that I could have done better currently, and I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I should have put the reasoning of why I'm doing this, and it's I mean, whenever I emailed you, I mentioned it. I'm trying to shine a light on East Texas football and what makes it special, and let the coaches, players, whoever tell their stories. I
Mhm.
want to interview fans too, because what I like about fans is, let's say I ask you, I'll just name this team because they're way out west and nobody's heard of them. There's a team near El Paso called Tornillo. They
Okay.
are notorious for losing football games. They lose every year. One year they went 0-10 and made the playoffs because they're in a four-man district.
Okay.
Okay, but I know if I ask a coach if the coach is playing that team that week, oh yeah, man, they're a tough squad. They're going to give us our money's worth, and I'm gonna be like, come on, man, like don't beat around
Yeah.
the bush. Like
Yeah, we both
tell me
know.
what's really about to happen. So that's why I want to interview fans, because fans will let me know. Coaches are just politicians, man. They want to beat around the bush with it. So I'm going to interview some fans too, hopefully this year. But yeah, man, I've had a lot of let's see, the Gridiron Gilly thing. I started that up last year, just messing around with some friends covering college and NFL football.
Mhm.
And I literally just had my phone and I would video and put it on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, and I would just break down games, um, preview games of college football, NFL that week, all the
Mhm.
way throughout the whole entire season. And me and my buddies always messed around about starting a podcast and seeing how it would work.
Right.
And I got one of my best friends. He don't watch football. He only watches high school football in Texas, and that's it. And he's like a big high school football nut, but he don't care about college or NFL. And he's always been telling me, he's like, you need to do high school. You need to do high school. And I was like, man, that's just a different monster to me, because like if I do college and NFL, that's just me talking, and I can just talk whatever. I'm not
Mhm.
going to get an interview with Nick Saban or nobody like that. But I
Right.
was like, if I do high school, I've got to interview coaches.
Right, right.
And I was like, I don't know how that'll go, but I was like, I'll give it a shot after thinking about it for a long time. And since I've done it, this past Thursday was my anniversary with my wife. So we just spent the whole weekend in Dallas and came back this morning. Last night, we went to a Rangers game and they won 10-0. My son was a good luck charm. That was his first game. Uh, but when I got back to the hotel and I was in bed, one of my buddies reached out to me and was like, "Hey man, this high school football thing you're doing, it's awesome, man. I'm proud of you." And I was like, "You know what? Thank you." Because I was nervous. I was like, "I'm doing it. I've already got interviews lined up. I've got you right now. I've got another coach tomorrow, and then another one potentially Tuesday night."
Okay.
Um, but I was like, "Yeah, man." Like I was like, I'm nervous about it, but once people just keep supporting me, like, "Hey man, I like what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I appreciate it." East Texas needs somebody to shine that light on them, um, because there are people like Dave Campbell's. They do a little
Right.
bit over here, but most of what they do is the DFW, and
Mhm.
the big 5A, 6A is mostly what they cover. So I
Mhm.
was like, I'm going to shine a light on the little guy. And some coaches I've reached out to, because I wanted to be strictly East Texas and the Piney Woods region, but some coaches I've reached out to in other parts of Texas just because they're legendary coaches. I
Mhm.
reached out to, probably not going to get a response back from those guys, but I reached out to Claude Mathis with DeSoto.
Yeah.
I did reach out to him because he coached at Marshall for like 1 year a few years
Mhm.
back. I remember.
Mhm.
So he's coached in East Texas before, even if it was just for a year. And I reached out to Randy Allen, I think his name is, the coach for Highland Park. I
Yeah.
reached out to him, but I was like, I don't know. I'm just going to work on the East Texas deal right now, and then eventually I'll branch out and do other stuff. But this is my bread and butter. This is what I know. I know East Texas football, and I'm trying to know more about it.
Gotcha.
That's why I'm doing this.
So anything you need from me, man, like, we can do whatever. That's why you say it's a quick response, man. That's just how I am, because your time is just as important as anybody's time. Or, I just want to reach out to you and get it done.
I've probably reached out to, I don't even know, probably about 20 coaches. The the area I decided I'll cover everything from Texarkana all the way to Tyler, west to Tyler, all the way down to Jasper or Newton, like that area.
Okay.
And there's a lot of high school football teams in there, a lot of good, a lot of bad. But I was like, I'm not gonna cover all the games, obviously. But I was like, I'm gonna try to like talk to all the coaches at least, or all the ones I can think of.
Right.
And I think I probably messaged about 20 coaches already, and I've gotten a few responses. And like I said, you're my first one, and I really appreciate this because this is a good learning and stepping stool for me. It's only going to go up from here.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Nate. Thank you for having me, man. Like I said, if you need anything from Gladewater, man, just let me know.
I'll just ask you the rest of the questions I had, and I guess we'll call it at that. Okay.
Okay.
Who's your favorite athlete, growing up or currently, whichever one, man?
Penny Hardaway.
Penny Hardaway. I do know that guy. Orlando Magic.
Yep.
I do know him. Played with that guy on 2K on one of the legendary teams, and he was an ace. Him and Shaq,
Yep.
whatever that '90s team was that they were on, they
Yep.
were cold blooded.
Yep. I go
What do
Penny
you,
Hardaway.
so I didn't know you were a basketball guy. I'm asking
Mhm.
all you these football questions, and I'm getting basketball answers. What's the best football movie that you've seen?
Best football movie. Remember the Titans?
Usually people
Um,
say, what is
Friday
it?
Night Lights.
Yes, yeah, Friday Night
With
Lights.
Rooney
That's
Miles
usually
and
the
all that.
go-to.
Yeah.
That's mine. I mean,
Right.
that's a good one, but it's Remember
The
the
Blind
Titans is always
Side.
one I forget about.
Yeah. You go to the Blind Side, I guess.
Yes, The Blind Side, great movie. Terrible story, but great movie. Uh, are you a college football or an NFL guy?
College by far. Right.
College.
Yes. College by far.
I was an NFL guy for the majority of my life, and then probably about 5 or 6 years ago, I
Okay.
became a strictly college football. I mean, I still watch the NFL every Sunday. I've got the Sunday
Oh yeah.
ticket. Um, but and what I like about college football is if you lose one or two games, your season's pretty much over with. Like you're not. I mean, you can still make a bowl game. And now with the expansion, the 12-team playoff. I mean, if you're in the SEC, if you're Alabama or LSU, Georgia,
Yep.
Ohio State, those guys can get into the college football playoff now. But NFL, you can lose 7, 8 games and still win the Super Bowl. So that's what made me a college football guy. That right there. Here's the two questions I've got that I'm going to figure out if you're an offensive minded guy or a defensive minded guy. The first one is: would you rather win a game 48-0 or 6-0?
6-0.
Okay. And then the second one: would you rather have a game winning touchdown or a goal line stand
Goal
to
line
win a
stand.
game? Goal line
Goal.
stand?
Yep.
Okay, you're a defensive minded guy then.
Yep.
Based off of that's what I said. Based off those two answers, defensive minded guy.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Um, and then last question, or second to last question, because the last question is just whatever. But would you rather take over a program that's never had success, or would you rather take over a program that's all they've had is success? So pretty much, would you rather take over that team I was talking about a while ago in El Paso, or would
Right.
you rather take over the Carthage Bulldogs after Scott Surratt leaves?
I think never had success. Like I've always been like that. Try to just grind it out. To try to figure out, what you need to do to get everything flipped. So, I don't mind a team that's already established or whatever, but like
Mm-hmm.
I think just me, just in my heart, I just want to take over something to where like let's figure it out. Let's grind it out.
Build it
And
from the
know that it
ground
may
up.
take it may take 1 or 2 years or maybe a little bit longer to get it where you need to be, but I want to grind it out.
That's my answer too. I don't have a good answer for it, other than if I did become a coach, I would want to coach at a program like that
Mm-hmm.
because if I was terrible, then oh well. Like that's the standard anyways. Um,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not gonna lose my job if I go 0-10. I just
Right.
got to go 1-9 the next year. Last question I have for you, Coach, and then I'll let you go.
Yeah, okay.
Like I said, I know nothing about Gladewater. I've
Mhm.
seen them play football once, and I've been there one other time for my nephew's baseball game, and we had Chicken Express in Gladewater. So my question to you is, what is a good spot to get some food at in Gladewater?
So we got like a hometown spot now. It's called Chad's Wings. So you can get chicken wings in different flavors, fried fish, pork chops, hamburger baskets, and things like that. But we do have the Chicken Express, the Sonic, Pizza Hut, and some other local places. But as of now, I'm going with Chad's.
Chad's is the spot.
Chad's is the spot.
Chad's probably isn't open on Thursday and Friday nights, though, huh?
They'll be open till like 7 o'clock. And actually, Chad's is be our fifth quarter place to go. So after the game, they'll have different specials for the kids and things like that that they can go and kind of eat and hang out. They have karaoke and stuff like that. So I just kind of got with them to do that because I just didn't like kids trying to go to Longview or different places to go eat after games and hang out. And not that it is far, but it's still 15 to 20 minutes away where you can go 2 minutes right here in Gladewater and still kind of hang out, have fun, and then get home. So that's where we'll host our fifth quarter at after the games, home games.
That's a better spot, man. Well, that's all I got. That's the only things I could come up with. Um, I do appreciate it, man. I appreciate your time, the conversation, and the hospitality, man.
Man, thank you. Like I said, if there's anything you need from Gladewater, just hit me up. You have my number, you have my email. If it's anything, if you want to just come to a game, hang out, hey, come stand on the sideline with us, man. We got you.
I'm gonna say I work every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but depending on what time the games start and where the games are at, there's a good possibility I can make one,
Okay.
especially in the playoffs.
Well, we'll see you there.
I sure hope so, man. Take care, man.
Yes, sir.